thecliniccolorado.com.
Yeah, The Clinic Colorado.
The Clinic Colorado, all spelled out. It's really kind of a mouthful of a URL there. thecliniccolorado.com.
I like it.
And then if you go under the little 3 horizontal line hamburger looking thing, go to the Clinic Charity Classic Golf Tournament. There you can see sort of videos of past tournament, including footage of the course, which, as you said, is one of the most absolutely beautiful courses in the world. It really is top-notch out there. There's holes where you're going to be driving off the edge of a cliff and letting her rip down a big canyon as you're playing. And even if you aren't going to golf, we do sell tickets to the after party and things like that. So you have no interest in golfing, anything like that, still want to be a part of it and enjoying the fun, we have tickets for that too.
Yeah, and so for our listeners, one of the gentlemen that's in my foursome, he's playing with us, but he bought a ticket to the after party for his significant other, so she's going to come join us for the party after the fact. So yeah, if you're more music and less golf, come on out. It's not, there's tickets available on the Clinic Colorado. Before we shift gears into our Denver themed questions,
yep.
Are you like a scratch golfer? Like, I see, like, everything you put your mind to, you seem to succeed very well at. Is golf one of those things as well?
Don't lie. I don't have an upbringing where I really played golf at all.
Okay.
The first round of golf I ever played, I think I was 21 or 22 years old. And
5 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Hard wink.
Yeah, hard wink. So, it's not really my forte. That being said, I always joke around that I'm a tournament champion golfer, which, while I'm not a great golfer myself, I'm a great assembler of teammates. And, there was one year where I was able to assemble a good enough team that my name does appear on the trophy there, but with very little to do with my own contribution to that effort.
Yeah, well, okay, so we're in the same boat then, because I will 100% be... I call it the anchor because of like swimming relays, but it's not because they can rely on me. I'm not like the go-to. I'm the anchor that like pulls us down. So I will be the fourth, but as our listeners probably know, I'm really good at partying. So I'm there for the motet and the good times, and obviously we'll be there to help share the good word and promote all that we can for the society, the MS Society.
We try to cater to everyone on that front. You'll have teams out there that are very good golfers, very competitive, very
cutthroat, going for
into it, and especially amongst the various companies within the industry. They get competitive against each other, play side bets on, which team is going to, have the lower score and things like that. And we not only encourage that, we play off of that to try to solicit more donation dollars out of them, At several of the holes, there's sort of side games or things where you can buy a bigger hole, buy yourself closer to it. There's even holes where we've basically decided to give the person running the hole carte blanche on, whatever they're willing to. If they're willing to pay enough, like the entire course is the hole. If they get the ball off the tee, it's in there. If they're willing to pay enough,
it counts.
Yeah.
Like mulligans, you can buy them.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of them.
We're shameless about this. Our goal out there, beyond making sure everybody has an absolutely fantastic time and wants to come back next year, is to shake every last penny out of every attendee that we possibly can.
And when you say it like that, everyone's like, yeah, that's totally understandable. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're there to do,
Calcutta, kiss my ass. We're coming out here to Arrowhead for the Charity Classic, and it's going to be a good time. Again, August 9th. Keep checking for tee times. There's going to be availabilities. Maybe one will pop up. Somebody, has to, drop out for, unexpected birth. There's tons of women out there that maybe can't play this weekend because they're going to give birth. So get her tee time. Things of that nature. All sorts of reasons. So keep checking the Clinic Colorado. And again, if you want to help out to this righteous cause, go to their website. They're all donations for the MS Society.
I'll make sure to get you the link as well, direct to the things. You can post that in the show notes as well.
Perfect.
It'll take you just right to the events page.
Perfect. And you can find that in our Facebook page, on our website. You can find that in our social media, all the above. It'll be in there for the foreseeable future. Obviously, we love working with the clinic. We love working with PAX, Cheapa Chews, all you guys. Shout out to our friends at Live Well, too. They hook it up also. And like you said,
there's
some things
they're longtime sponsors of the event. So,
exactly. Some things are bigger than competition. So
absolutely.
Holler, there's not a better cause. So I appreciate You shining a little light on that, enticing folks. I mean, you sold me on it just on the side bets alone and the fact that I can buy mulligans. So I'm now a little bit better off than I was going into this conversation, thinking about my golf film. All right, so you're not out of the woods. We've talked a little bit about what you do, how you got here, but really you're going to regret this next part. You're going to think back to you're like, how did I get myself stuck in this chair? I kid. So this next section we call Denver Dives. It's sponsored by the Fillmore Denver. Like you mentioned, you've been here damn near 20 years. This is Fillmore Denver's 20th anniversary tour, and so they're pulling out all the big names. So this week we have 21 Savage going Saturday. The following week we have, do you remember the band Live, like Dolphins?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, they're playing at the Fillmore with some other 90s bands. And then the following 2 days later is Wiz Khalifa, who's partnered up with Native Roots, obviously another company in the realm. So we love our friends over at...
Roots, another Clinic Charity Classic sponsor there.
So, there we go. We're trying to give everyone a shout out because they're on the same team. We're all on the same team to tackle MS. All right, so that's Denver Dives, brought to you by the Fillmore Denver and Live Nation. Our first question we like to ask, you mentioned you had a wife, so I imagine, with the family, you'll maybe not get out as often. We like to ask folks, what's your favorite happy hour here in Denver?
I really can't say I go to many happy hours here in Denver. I live way south of town, so things are a little different down there.
You down in the burbs?
Yeah, down in the deep, deep burbs, the sort of outermost ring of what you would even consider the Denver area.
Are you before? So I used to have to work at like Sky Ridge. Are y'all south, like Castle Rock version, or are y'all a little bit north of that?
Not far from Chatfield Reservoir, if you're familiar with where that is.
Jesus, that is a trick. I didn't mean to make you come all the way up into Denver. So we'll plug the Broadway Marketplace for today's happy hour. All right, so what do y'all like to hit? We need some burb life. Tell me.
Gotcha. Well, one of the places I'd love to talk about is Downhill Brewing in Parker. They are a fantastic brewery, lots of great in-house beers, and they're actually also help support the cause. They sponsor a good friend of mine's Muckfest MS team, and again, great beers, great folks there, and also helping out with the cause as well.
I like it. So that brewery was going to be one of our questions, so you knocked it off. I'm guessing they have food as well?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and then patio if you have the kids?
Patio, you name it, they've got it there. And
the burbs check off a lot more of those boxes. Like, it's not only like, we have a patio for, you can tie your dog up or you can tie your kids up kind of thing. Like, they have something for everything like that. All right, so, we're talking things. These are going to be restaurants. Some of them are going to be new to me, but
Gotcha.
I have a lot of friends that live down in the area. We just hit Park Meadows Mall up the other day for GQ Barbecue.
Gotcha.
So we'll ask, what was the last place, maybe y'all got a babysitter, you and the wife were able to sneak off and go grab some grub? When was the last good date spot you were able to hit?
Thinking about that, one of the places we love to hit isn't actually down in those parts.
Get out of here!
We occasionally like to make it back up to our old stomping grounds in Boulder, and there's this amazing little Italian place up there that it's kind of a hole in the wall. Most folks don't know about it, and from the outside, you would not think it has near the quality of food that it has, but it's called Il Pistaio, and it's literally right in the same shopping center as like a Safeway grocery store. Very unassuming, but one of the most absolutely incredible meal experiences you will ever have.
Is that the one next to the Safeway? That's at like the corner of like, is that Baseline right there? Kind of like in that
no, it's further up, like 30th and Arapahoe kind of area.
Okay, Arapahoe, maybe the street I was thinking of.
And it's a couple from Costa Rica that owns the place.
Time out. Let's rewind that.
Yeah.
Dank-ass Italian.
Dank-ass Italian by a Costa Rican family that they aren't even open on weekends. They're this kind of thing because they don't feel like working on weekends. That's just sort of the lifestyle that they've chosen. But they,
I like that.
If you've had
balls
good
right
Italian elsewhere in the Denver metro area, there's a very good chance that the actual pasta itself and noodles are actually made by Il Pistaio.
Okay, so they do everything in-house?
They supply, quite a few of the fancier Italian restaurants around town with their noodles, and just for a lifestyle choice have decided, we're not going to work on weekends, even though that for a restaurant should be your busiest times.
That's a bold play.
And it's just, again, this little hole in the wall place, but man, especially if you go on Friday and get their cioppino, which is like a tomato based seafood stew thing, which is just out of this world. It's one of these recipes that somebody you can tell has been perfecting this for 50 years to get it just dialed in to that dead perfect balance.
And that's kind of like, and I think they call it gravy, like the Italians, like on Sopranos and stuff. They're like, how's the sauce, the gravy or whatever. and I'm not very fluent and like I'm just a redneck. So I love this when you said seafood, my ears perked up. Yeah. But then like I love a good hole in the wall, and sometimes those are like even better than those fancy schmancy's white tablecloth. And no like. I'm not disparaging, Bobby Stuckey and the Frosca team who make dank food or whatever, but sometimes that's kind of my jam. Dive bar, but of foods, that'll fuck with me.
There's another place up there that used to be kind of a honey hole for the growers in town because it's a restaurant that's tucked away in a warehouse district and like not where you would all expect to find an eating establishment called Efrain's, which is a little family-owned Mexican place that, again, 15, 20 years ago, nobody knew about this. Besides, if you found somebody who knew about this, they grew pot because the hydro store was in that warehouse complex, and that was the only people that
greatest smells
went
coming
in
from
there.
This place.
And some of the most amazing pork green chili ever. And unfortunately, in recent times, it's caught on more with the sort of younger hip college and hipster crowds. And, what used to be this little hole in the wall now has a line out the door and wrapping around the warehouses and things like that because it is just some of the most amazing food you're going to find anywhere.
Those goddamn millennials, they ruin everything. All right, I like it. So we're on a good roll. I've got a lot of tips here because we've had folks, Rami from Comida, she's a Boulderite. Bobby is a Boulderite. So we've got a little bit of tips there, but none of these have been mentioned. So we always like finding out about new little, like you said, honey holes. I just love a good dive, and I hate to steal a good term, but like diners and, like shitty food and then like those dive bars that are dank food that would otherwise look, all suspicious or whatever the term would be. I'm a smoker. I'm not a dictionary. Those are my jams. So shout out to Guy Fieri for the find. That's well played. I like it. All right. So you knocked out brewery. We did the happy hour, double date night. I like it, even though that's probably like an hour trek for y'all.
Yeah, it's not close.
No, not at all. All right. So the next one would be, Jay, next question, rent week. Meal of the week. We try to fly under the radar. Let's say, under $20. Don't want to spend too much. Got a big, let's say the kid's dentist bill is coming in. Yeah. What are we eating to alleviate the costs?
One of my favorite places down by where we live is a pizza place called Virgilio's. They're absolutely fantastic food. They were ranked one of the top 50 pizza joints in America. Really just high quality stuff, enough so that they've been able to cut off their delivery service because their kitchen is so busy just with carry out in the restaurant. They don't even bother delivering anymore because they're full.
You know what? Fuck yourself. Come in or don't get it at all. And it's called Virgilio's?
Virgilio's.
Oh, like bird.
Virgilio's. And, one of my absolute favorite things they have there are these little like pasta beggars purses that have it's like almonds and Asiago cheese in them, and oh my God, they are just amazing.
Divine.
Yes.
So we like to use the word "that food fucks." Does that food?
That food fucks.
Fucks hard. I like it. All right, so I'm picking up some new ones. Shout out to I have a buddy down a little south. He's a big restaurant tasters. So Fat Guy, if you're listening, I have a bunch of restaurants down in your area. He's down past Inglewood, Highlands Ranch area.
Yeah.
So I'll have him, if I'm not there, I'm not a driver, I'm a drinker.
Gotcha.
We'll make him test them out, report back, but it sounds like you're obviously an Italian fan. But at the same time, pizza,
I wouldn't say that in general. That just happens to be some of the better places I know around town. And, I think everybody loves pizza. I know that was a hot topic on the podcast I listened to you with my coworker, Zach, was, a deep dive into the pizza realm. And, there's a number of great pizza places around here because it's kind of a melting pot here of the various different pizza styles. And another one of my favorite places that's probably a little closer to where your audience is looking is Hops and Pie over in
that shit place.
The West Highland area.
Delicious.
And unbelievable beer and pizza selection there. They even have one of our production facilities wasn't too far from there, so I used to frequent that place quite a bit more. Now I'm working on the south side of town, so it's quite a hike to get over there, but anytime I'm over on that side of town, I have to stop in because particularly their pie of the month. One of the 10 best things I've ever eaten in my life is a pizza from that place, which...
All right, I have the same feeling, so I'll let you tell me which yours was first, and it's not going to sound crazy no matter what the toppings are, because they get creative with it.
Yeah.
What was the one?
It was a fried chicken and waffle pizza.
Damn it! Do they have a syrup somewhere in play in there?
So let me explain
That's a
this
stoned
to you.
appetit
Yes,
answer.
this
right
is
there.
like an absolute stoner's dream, and I want to say they did it as their pie of the month once, but it was so complicated for them to make, they swore they were going to never